Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Archana Sharma. Today I will be teaching you the probability. So many students find probability doing tough, but this is very important chapter and it also helps us in scoring the marks. So without any delay we should start this, and you also should focus on this. You actually require some general thinking to solve all these kind of problems. So first I will be explaining what is probability. So coming to probability, it generally deals with the questions like how much likely or probably we are gonna get something. Like in the sense, if I have balls of different colors, let's say red and blue. So whenever we have different balls of same size and same color and you are asked to choose a ball, so you need to tell that how much there is a probability that you are gonna get some blue ball. So this is such types of problems could be solved using probability very easily. So basically these generally talk about the possibilities. So whenever that how much you are probable of getting something done. Whenever we convert these kind of questions into a data which is in numericals, this is generally termed as probability. So probability can be defined as how much probable something is when it is represented in numericals. When represented in numericals. So basically to solve these kinds of problems we'll be using probability. So there are two kinds of probabilities. This is experimental and the other one is theoretical. So these are two kinds of probabilities. So these two are required. Generally the original probability is, the theoretical probability is considered to be the original probability. I will be explaining each of them so that you will understand why am I saying that theoretical probability is generally considered as a probability. So first we will start about experimental probability. In this probability, these kind of probabilities, as the name suggests, you do some experiments and you find the probability. So this is generally a real time example. Suppose like you take a ball and you draw some ball among red and blue balls, so how much that is probable, and these all kind are experiments things. So these are based on the results of actual experiments. Generally these all are having the results which are taken from the actual experiments. That is, you do an experiment and you find the probability. So this is termed as experimental probability. All these experiments are just estimation. If we reperform the experiment, like suppose whenever I took the blue ball, I got the probability as 1/10th. Then whenever I am doing the second time, I may change it. Like if I change the number of times of picking the ball, my probability would be changing continuously. So whenever you perform the experiment again, you can get a red ball, or sometimes blue ball, sometimes 3 blue balls. Like suppose I want to take 3 balls, sometimes it can be 3 blues or 3 reds, 1 blue 2 reds, or 1 red 2 blues. So whenever I am repeating the experiment, the output whatever I am getting is going to change continuously. So these don't have a constant output, no constant output. Other example I could give is, if suppose I say you are tossing 10 coins. So we all know that you will either get a head or a tail. So first time I got 6 heads, then I will be getting a 4 tails. Second time I got 5 heads 5 tails. Third time I got 3 heads 9 tails, and so on. So whenever I am doing the experiment, repeating them, sometimes I can get again 6 heads and 4 tails. So my experimental values are been changing continuously with my repetition of the experiments. So the probability will also be changing. So this experimental probability is generally defined as P of E. E means this experimental probability. This deals with the experimental probability, which is defined as number of trials in which event happened by total number of trials. So this is, I will take that previous example, the head and tail one. So suppose I got 6 heads and 4 tails. So my probability, experimental probability to find the head is, how much probable I am to get head is 6 by 10. 10 is the total number of 6 plus 4 is 10, because I have done the experiment for the 10 times, and head count is 6. So it's 6 by 10, it says nothing but 3 by 5. So now suppose we question what will be the experimental probability of getting a head if experiment carried on up to say 1 crore times. So this is very tough to imagine. 1 crore is a very big number. It's not really possible to get this done. So 1 crore times tossing a coin is like a very difficult task. And suppose I say not 1 crore, what if it is 10 crore times? This is much more tougher when compared to 1 crore, and I can go on increasing the number. So in such cases, it's, as this is very tough, you go to theoretical probability. So in this probability, the number of outcomes favorable by total number of possible outcomes. This is the formula. So this is P of T, and the formula is number of outcomes favorable to T. That is our experiment by number of all possible outcomes of our experiment. So this is the other definition of probability, and theoretical probability is general probability which we consider, because it's very tough for us to always do the experiment and find the values. So we generally take the theoretical probability to solve all our problems here. Now next, moving on to other topic. This is one of the other important definitions of the probability, the mutually exclusive events. So coming to mutually exclusive event, this says that occurrence of one event always occurrence of one event prevents the occurrence of all other events. So this is the basic definition of mutually exclusive events. I will be explaining this with an example so that you understand it very well, because the definitions don't explain things as very clearly. So suppose we will take the same example. Suppose I am tossing a coin. So I will either get a head or a tail. Head or tail. I won't be getting both at a time, like I am tossing a coin and I have head and tail. This is not possible, like getting both. So either the head or the tail. This is mutually exclusive. Like if I got a head, the occurrence of head has stopped the occurrence of getting me a tail. So this is mutually exclusive event. I'll explain to you other example. Suppose I have a student. Let's say I am a student of a school. So I am a student. So the school have generally classes from LKG to 10th. So I should belong to one of the classes, not all the classes. Like I am in LKG, I am in UKG. This is not the case. I should like suppose I am in UKG. So I should be in UKG, not in LKG or 10th or 9th or 8th. That is, me being in UKG is stopping me being in any other class. So this is mutually exclusive. Suppose you are present at one place, it's not possible for you to be present at other place. So this is the mutually exclusivity of the events. I hope you understood this very well. So let's start with the problems. These are real-time problems. You should generally use your creativity thinking, like how differently you can think. It's not so much different. If you understand this in general ways, you will be getting the answers very well. So this is a very simple question. Probability of getting head if coin is tossed once. So you know that the coin is gonna tossed once. So we know that when coin is tossed, we can get a head or a tail. Since once it is tossed, you will get either one head or one tail. So this is the general understanding of you from the question. So you should write these things so that it will be easy for you to solve the problems. So these are the two outcomes. In the maths grammar, you call these as outcomes. So I'll assume let E be an event, that is tossing a coin is an event of getting a head, because he mentioned that probability of getting a head. So I am assuming that I got an head. So I know that probability of getting head is, let's see what's the formula. You will be using the theoretical formula. I already explained you about this. So number of outcomes favorable by total outcomes. This is very easy to remember. So how many times can you get a head while tossing a single coin? So only once you can get a head. So how many chances are there? That is the total complete chances. That is, it can be a head or tail. So this is 1 plus 1, 2. You can either get a head or a tail. So there are 2 complete chances, and of that one you can get only a single head. So the favorable outcomes that are in your favor are only one, getting a head. But the total outcomes are there is an head and also a tail. So 1 by 2, which is 0.5. So always remember friends, probability should always be less than 1. It can never be greater than 1. So 0.5 is less than 1. So we can accept this. And the sum of the probability is always 1. That is, whenever you add different probabilities, like for red ball, green ball, if you are going to add all those, you will always be getting the probability as 1. So now you try this question. So find the probability of tail and post your answers in comment box. So this is like homework for you, so that how much you understood the things, you will be getting it. It's very easy friends, don't panic. A bag contains, there is a red ball, blue ball and a yellow ball. So a bag has these 3 kinds of balls, all are of the same sizes. So if we take out a ball, what is the probability? If I take a ball, what is probability of me getting the first one is, suppose I say yellow. So think it very easily. So you have, let's solve this. You have one red ball, one blue ball and one yellow ball. So the total number of balls are 3 and each is one color ball. So now you have to find how many balls like whenever you draw a ball, it is an yellow ball. So what is the probability of you getting an yellow ball? So we know that probability is favorable outcomes by outcomes by total outcomes. So you want an yellow ball, so how many yellow balls do you have? 1. So write the numerator as 1. So now the total outcomes, how many total balls do you have? 3. So 1 by 3 is your favorable outcome by total outcome. Suppose I say a red ball, so the logic is same. So how many red balls do you have? 1. Total balls 3. So this is also 1 by 3. Now you try for the blue ball. Post the answers in the comment box so that, or if you have any doubt, do give it in the comment box so that I can explain you there. So